This is Dave, the minion. His entire purpose is to burn, explode violently, reform, and repeat. In fact, there's a whole family of Daves doomed to the same fate. Today we're looking at BalorMage's Spectre popcorn build, and we're not going to think too hard about the morality of it. Sorry, Dave. Welcome to Season 13 of Build of the Week. I'm Eben from Grinding Gear Games. The Affliction League introduced the Breaker of Oaths, a curious character that sells corpses. These corpses can be animated with Raised Spectre. Many of them have unique abilities that aren't available anywhere else, and one in particular drew the attention of BalorMage. This is the Dark Marionette. It has the ability to reform when it dies, unlike normal spectres, which must be resummoned from new bodies. At higher corpse tiers, this monster also gains the ability to explode on death. You can see where this is going. BalorMage is using the Minion Instability Keystone, which detonates minions when they reach low life. By supporting these spectres with Infernal Legion, they burn to death and explode. A moment later, each minion reforms, creating a never-ending cycle of pain for the Daves and our enemies. All of our damage is coming from these exploding marionettes, so how do we get the most out of them? Obviously, the more we have, the better. We're getting extra spectres from sources like this, and this. To reach a total of 7, we also have to get our Raised Spectre gem to level 25. The Dark Marionettes themselves are available in 3 tiers, as seen here. The highest tier is ideal because they apply Scorch, a handy debuff that reduces enemies' elemental resists. With that said, that tier is the rarest and most expensive, so BalorMage explains that you can probably get away with having only a couple of perfect Daves in your retinue. We can direct the spectres by casting a spell in the direction we want them to go. In this case, Balor uses Arcanist Brand. This skill is handy because it lets us automatically trigger more debuffs, Flammability and Wave of Conviction. Smoothness of play is at the heart of the build design here. There is one little concern with the setup. We have to balance our minion speed and the speed at which our minions die, so that they make it to their destination before exploding. One trick Balor uses is Malagaro's Lens. This shield reduces your elemental resistances, but when combined with Necromantic Aegis, the effects of the shield apply to our minions instead. With this lower resistance, our minions explode much sooner. In this vein, it must be noted that minion elemental resistance can stunt the build. It's important that our Raised Spectre gem has 0% quality, because otherwise they'd have more resistance than they would need. Altogether, our damage output is nothing to scoff at, but the build's biggest advantage is its consistency and automation. The spectres will continue spawning and exploding, regardless of our movement, dodging, lag, or anything else. Since we're left free to dodge however we like, that's a defensive help all in itself. But we're also squeezing in as many other defensive layers as our budget allows. Of note is our significant block chance. How are we achieving these numbers without the stats from a shield? The answer is Bone Offering. This skill consumes corpses to grant block chance, usually to our minions, but since we're a necromancer, we can use this ascendancy node to direct some of those bonuses to ourselves. We can increase the effectiveness of our offering even more by using the Wildwood Primalist Ascendancy available in this league. This tree allows us to stack charms that increase the effectiveness of our offerings for even more block chance. We can also automate our bone offering by placing it in a wand with this mod that triggers skills automatically. Again, smoothness is the name of the game here. The build of Showcase today is actually the budget version, which BalorMage developed in a private league. If you're interested, he has also outlined a more expensive min-maxed version to test the limits of what's possible with the Dark Marionettes. The build is smooth to play, easy to understand, and thematically horrifying, which are all things we love. Thanks to BalorMage for his contribution. Be sure to check out the links in the description for his video guides. If you'd like to look like a puppet master of death, here's the cosmetics we went with for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time!